Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the United Metaverse by Connect.Club event. If you aren't familiar with these events, the United Metaverse events is a event for sharing our knowledge, observations, and insights to help people and businesses develop strategies for the metaverse and Web3. I would recommend everybody please to join the United Metaverse Club, follow the profile, turn notifications on so you can see our events as they come up. These events happen pretty regularly, and it's always great to meet new people and learn about different things happening in the industry. So today on the stage, we have, sorry, one sec here. Yeah, so today on the stage, we have with us Claire, Daniel, and Kate, Justine, all great leaders in the industry. And I'm really excited to talk with them today. I just did another call on Twitter Spaces earlier today, so I'm quite regularly meeting new people in the industry. And everybody today, all the guests, they're all fantastic guests, so I'm excited to get things going here today. As far as joining the stage goes, everybody is welcome to join the stage at the end for Q&A. So in the beginning, please sit down in the chairs outside and hang out and listen. And then at the very end, we'll invite the community up to join for a Q&A. Otherwise, we're going to get things started here. Please invite your friends, get everybody else to join the room. And to introduce, I'd like to go around the room and have each of our speakers introduce themselves so that we can learn a little bit more about who we have in the room. So I guess let's start. I'm not really sure who's on which chair here. So I guess we're going to start today with Claire, and then we'll move on from there. So Claire, do you want to introduce what you're doing in the space, who you are, a little intro, and then we'll move on and see what everybody else is up to, and then we'll have our fireside chat and some questions. Okay, so Claire, floor is yours.
Sure, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming through great for me.
Okay, great. So hi, thank you so much for having me. It's great to meet everybody. I'm really excited to talk to everybody who's on the stage today. I'm Claire Tattersall. I'm the founder and director of Digital Fashion Week New York. And we see ourselves as the lens through which we can view the future of fashion. We're providing a platform where we're bringing together not just digital fashion, but the entire digitization of the fashion industry. So looking at how we can digitize and the innovators who are digitizing at every point from concept to consumer. So thank you. I am really excited to join the conversation.
Well, thanks for joining us today. That sounds amazing. I know digital fashion is going to be a huge part of our future as people start to learn how to represent themselves in the metaverse and in different forms of our identities. Next up, we have Justine. I'm going to give you the floor to introduce yourself, what you're doing in the industry, the projects you're part of.
Hi guys, thank you for having me. Yes, so I'm Justine. I'm the co-founder of House, which is a creative studio specialized in digital arts and experimental commercial. So we work with multiple digital artists, bringing them into the Web3 with NFTs, as well as creating 360 commercial for brands who want to engage in a Web3 community. So creating, so they NFTs, they metaverse strategy, and we mostly in the creative part and conception part.
Again, I think it's amazing that you're working on this to guide people into Web3. Everybody has an idea for what it means to them and a project that they want to integrate into the space, but the reason for your project to exist, being able to navigate how to do it properly and smoothly. A lot of people have spent the last year, 2-3 years learning how to do this, so having guides like you guys in the space is very important for the growth of the industry. And then on that note, we're going to move on to Daniel and introduce Daniel. I know Daniel's been doing a lot in this space, and I'd love to hear what he's been up to recently.
Yeah, so thank you for that. This is so cool, by the way. So I have a media company called IBH Media, and our main focus has been getting people into the media, specifically in TV. And I find this to be a really great medium to really reach the other 99% of people that are not on spaces or in places like this. A lot of people still watch TV, read publications, magazines. So our goal is to impact 100 million people and gain more exposure for Web3 metaverse companies to the masses.
That's amazing. One of the most difficult challenges I have is talking to my friends and family that aren't involved in the space about what we're doing and how they can find out about it, or even using language that doesn't make them feel alienated or make their eyes glaze over when you say words like blockchain or NFT. So I love to see what you guys are doing within the television space to onboard new users. My brand is Web3 entertainment for social good. So with being entertainment, I'm definitely curious to see what you guys are doing to try to onboard new people and explain what is happening in this metaverse world that we are existing in. And then with that, I would like to bring up, sorry, that was my dryer in the background there, if you guys heard that. And then next up, I would like to bring our other guest up, which would be Kate Hancock.
Yes. Wow. Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is so cool. My name is Kate Hancock. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I was joking. Dan is my husband. I was broke at Web 1.0. I run an 8-figure company, Web 2.0. I'm very excited about infinite possibilities of Web 3.0. I'm a community builder. I built 100,000 members in Clubhouse, started the whole business category there. Right now, I am the founder of Metaverse XYZ. It's a company that runs immersive events. We are putting together the biggest festival metaverse in Asia with 20,000 audience. We just booked the co-founder of E-Entertainment. He wanted to speak at the event. I'm very excited about the infinite possibilities of Web 3.0. I'm currently advising different projects and different businesses as well. I run a hotel as well. Thank you for having me.
Sounds like you have your hands full at all times.
Yes, that's what the ADD entrepreneur, right? Being creative.
Yeah, when you're a creative, you kind of just always end up getting yourself involved in different things. I consult on a few different projects as well. Today was an invite that I received last week, and it was, of course, I want to do this. I love doing public speaking things, and this is a really neat way to do a media event in the virtual space. It's kind of like a little mini metaverse in its own right. I think people think of metaverse as like an all-encompassing Ready Player One style thing, but in my personal perspective, it's multiple virtual experiences. There's a never-ending description of what the metaverse can be. You did mention one thing, Claire and Kate and Daniel, that I wanted to ask you guys about. You have been running a clubhouse for like one of the longest running clubhouses going. It's been going on for about over 85 days now. What are some of the challenges you face with, bringing on new guests and onboarding people to discussions in Clubhouse and in the metaverse? And what has the metaverse changed as far as the entrepreneurial world goes and some of the guests that you're bringing out and the experiences they're having?
Yeah, I think when we were running the 85 days business, that was a business marathon. It's so much easier for us to leverage because we have one of the biggest club on Clubhouse because we started the whole business category. The current issues as far as onboarding people in the metaverse for entrepreneurs, I mean, not everyone are super open to the whole new concept, right? When you talk about change, people's like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to get involved into something that I have to do something different than what I'm doing now. Especially, I talk a lot about the future of e-commerce. Your current e-commerce website right now will be obsolete in the next few years. Are you ready for that? That's our messaging out there. But we have a lot of interest, but still, there's a lot of successful entrepreneurs that's very guarded and not open to it, for sure.
Yeah, there is kind of a sense of protection or defense of what's familiar, right? People always, the rate of adoption isn't always quick. And when it's something that, I hate to use the word disrupt, but when it is something that disrupts so many different industries, people are a bit tentative and fearful to step into the space. And quite often the people like to talk about negative things more than the positive impacts. So a lot of the media is either focused on how much money an NFT was sold for, or the environmental impact and the potential fraudulent downfalls that come with blockchain and NFTs. But when you look under the surface, there's a lot more to it going on than that. And I think that's something that's quite often missing. And that actually brings me to a continuation of this question for both you and Daniel as well. So with this kind of being the trend, as you mentioned, websites becoming almost obsolete, the metaverse, is it inevitable? And within that, should brands be looking to create a metaverse and Web3 strategy? And on that note, sorry, I just got a message from our leaders. When everyone's speaking, I'll turn my camera on as well. If anyone can turn their cameras on, that'd be fantastic. We totally understand that if you're on the road or you're not in a space that's comfortable for you, but no worries. But if you can, please throw on your cameras. I'll do the same for myself as well. But yeah, if you guys can answer a little bit about the metaverse being inevitable and businesses entering with a Web3 strategy and what they should do for Danielle and Kate.
Danny, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, 100%, like Kate mentioned, it is the future. So, if you're not ready for the future, then I think we've seen this in the past. Then, unfortunately, the company will probably go out like Blockbuster. I mean, you're even seeing chief metaverse officer as a legit, chief position now. And I think we're seeing this across many companies. There's a lot of companies that are looking to add to their strategy. However, I would wonder, and I guess the question that I would have for now is this a short-term play? Like you mentioned, is it just a media grab, or is it something long-term where you're actually building out a long-term strategy? I think you had mentioned it, utilizing the technology versus just trying to play off what's popular right now, because an NFT sold for X amount of money. Are you using the NFT technology to incorporate within your organization?
Yeah, exactly. Does your NFT have a purpose? My personal brand, we're creating entertainment for social good within Web3. So our purpose is to create world impact and create collective change through communities, right? So there's a reason to have that exist, and we're looking to build this out for the next 10, 20, 30 years. A lot of projects, though, you see them come out and there's no real reason for it to exist. There's no long-term benefit or incentive for the community. And then with the rush that all these businesses have to get into the NFT space, they quite often always jump to metaverses, right? And quite often I'll see them jump to metaverses that aren't actually live yet. They're throwing millions of dollars into a metaverse that they can't really do anything with yet. So on that note, Claire, you held a fashion week recently, the first virtual fashion week, which is an incredible thing. With the pandemic, everybody's moving into virtual worlds, into virtual meeting spaces. I'd love to hear a little bit about your experience with the virtual clothing choices, things like consumption, brands representing themselves, consumerism with, again, the release of an NFT just for the sake of an NFT, or is there a reason to put this out there?
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of questions. So let me just address one or two of them. So consumerism. I think very much that fashion is more than just clothing. Fashion is an art form. It's a means of expression. And humans as a species, we crave we need to have a means to express ourselves. If you look at fashion throughout history, it's not just about something on the body. It's creating a concept. It's creating an image. It's associated with music and art and how we want people to see us. And that's just continuing with digital fashion. And something that's really interesting about digital fashion is that there's no need to be ordinary with digital fashion. In fact, nobody wants to be ordinary. It's about defying gravity, creating new concepts. For example, there's one designer, Alejandro Delgado, and he uses the human nervous system and replicates that and interprets that as fashion to create something wearable. So is it consumerism? I mean, that's debatable if you're buying something, using it and moving on. But I think it's so much more beyond that. And I think definitely the past 2 years, we're craving new ways to express ourselves from isolation. And there's enormous benefits for the environment, for emerging designers as a result of all this. New designers into the digital world. It's independent designers who are the ones who are super creative, super talented, and the larger brands they need to move fast into this world, but they're just not that nimble. So they have to dip into the pool of independent designers and developers to create the tools and the products that they need. So it's kind of exciting, almost a reversal of fortune. It's the evolution of the gig economy as well, and the need for people to express themselves. I think you had more parts to that question as well. So if I didn't touch on all of them, then if you want to.
No, that was actually a fantastic answer. You hit the nail on the head there with it being a form of expression, right? Your NFT wallet, for example, is like a little window into you. Unless you're like, chasing the flip, basically. If you're following what market, even within market trends, are people buying what they like, or are they buying what they think they can make a dollar with? But when it comes to virtual fashion and the way you represent yourself in the metaverse, for example, that is an extension of your personal beliefs and your personal values and just like the way you want to represent yourself. And as you mentioned,
right.
in a virtual
Yeah.
world, there's no limitations of how you can represent yourself.
Yes, and digital fashion, whether we have digital fashion in the metaverse or we have digital fashion that we use in social media and other ways that we use it in our digital lives that are not the metaverse, are pretty different as well. So there are tremendous challenges to having fashion in the metaverse at the moment. The fashion is far too large, far too heavy, far too complicated to really translate well into the metaverse. So we have a ways to go with the development of that technology. And fashion as an NFT is very different from other NFTs. It's not like art NFTs that you can put on your wall, or it can be a token that opens up another experience, which fashion could be. But we're working very much on the functionality of fashion, how you can use it in the metaverse or how you can use it in other parts of your digital life as well. And it's kind of a really exciting place because the technology is just not 100% there. It's still in the toddler phase. It's not quite a teenager.
Yeah, I found that quite often. Your ideas are slightly limited by the technology at this stage, especially if you want to be interoperable. You have all these things of what you want to do, and it is all possible, but finding out how to do it isn't always the easiest, and sometimes it doesn't always work that way. Like, for example, you mentioned with fashion and technology not quite being there. A lot of the stuff is still very Polygon-esque.
Very Polygon heavy.
It reminds me of like
yeah.
2001 era computer graphics a lot of the time, which isn't a fault of the industry. It's just, like you said, we're still in that toddler stage.
Right. It's a road, and we're just at an early place. We're seeing the junction way down there on the horizon, and it's a race to get there. So it's a great place to be right now, to see the different approaches to solving problems of fashion in the metaverse.
And I think if I can jump here, I think something that's really interesting and what's going to go forward is the
file. They've added it there for everybody for simplicity. When we have our Q&A, if there's any active participants that have any questions or anything, we're going to be giving away an NFT. You'll join their Discord, and then you'll connect to the Collabland link, which will connect you to their wallets, and then through connecting the wallet, they'll be able to airdrop you an NFT for participating today. So that's a perfect example of representing who you are. You went to this event, you participated, you get an NFT that is a representation of your values, your interests, who you are as a person. And then that'll be in your wallet to represent that you took part in this and that you're an early adopter, you're an early thought leader, you're somebody that is passionate about this space. And that's one way that you can incentivize events as well with NFTs and rewards and digital artwork and stuff, for example. I've been going to concerts for my whole life. It's what I did before I got into NFTs. I organized events for about 12 years, and AR fashion was something I came across in 2012. Video mapping and stage design and stuff has been digital art for longer than I've been alive, really. And now we're just finally using it as a medium to bring communities together, bring causes together, and to express ourselves, whether that's through our own collections or through building communities like this kind of conversation where we give out an NFT through our Discord for participation. It's a really neat tool that has been added to creators kit, basically, is kind of how I've been looking at it. So that will bring me to my questions for Justine, being a creator in the space. What can you build in the metaverse? With internet, with virtual reality, what kind of limitations are there that come with creating your ideas and bringing your dreams to life in Web3?
So actually, I think there's no limitation. The limitation might be the hardware and the software that other user can use. So obviously, if you create like a metaverse for a brand, not everyone can have access to it through their device. So I think something that's funny and I want to share. So we started Brawl in 2018, and my business partner Patricia is very creative and she's a director. And we were pitching some crazy digital ideas to brands. They were looking at us like we were crazy, like we're not putting this out there. This is too much. This is not conventional. And now every brand wants to be crazy and create their own crazy metaverse. This morning I was talking about this actually in Sandbox. Like, for example, if you want to create your house, like for the architect, like you can do whatever you want. You just have the limitation of what you bought. So like if you bought a certain amount of square feet, whether it's in the size and the length and the height, your house can be as crazy as you want. Like a lot of brands and people are just being really conventional about it, like creating house with walls in like a living room and a kitchen, or it's more like in the Sims, when we were playing Sims and we were just like, so this can be like what we've been doing is really trying to get out of the conventional way and really try to use the digital and the asset that artists can bring in to really create some crazy, whether even in fashion, like crazy outfit that you never see in real life, but you can have those kinds of texture and sizing in the virtual world. Same for housing or projects. So I don't think there's any limitation. The only limitation will be the hardware of where the user can be going to watch or live an experience in the metaverse. And this is obviously that we've been talking, like it's been worked on, and a lot of engineers and developers are working on that.
I completely agree. Honestly, my own brand, we have 7 different metaverse partners. My favorite one that's live right now that we have is the Nemesis, and it's available on mobile browser and desktop. But every other Saturday, we have a live metaverse concert that we host. And it's in like a virtual outer space ice planet that we've created. That's, it's a global community that gets to participate in this free event. And you end up having a bunch of penguin avatars, like dancing in this party, communicating in this space. And it's really just a fake universe that kind of tells our story. And then one of our other metaverse partners, they have a metaverse world that is based around the Tree of Life story. So part of our story is that our penguins go and visit the Tree of Life, which in that case, it makes sense for them to exist in that space. But really, it's just storytelling, creating ideas, and expanding on what your vision is, what your brand wants to do, right? It's taking the 2D into a 3D, essentially. Instead of scrolling up and down on a website, you can turn around corners and find surprises.
Yeah, totally. And I think there's just like so much to be done and to be discovered, and even stuff for some brands to be able to create a new kind of identity and the metaverse, to be able to touch as well like new customers that are going to be more like gamers, that would not necessarily like be interested in that brand in particular in the real world, but because the brand has a really cool roadmap and a cool like way of going in time, like going to the Web3. Therefore, they have like more attraction to other users.
Yeah, and another thing that's kind of neat about it is like with metaverse being plural, in my perspective, everybody has their favorite space. Kind of like even with television, right? You have Amazon, you have HBO, you have Netflix, you have so many options, Disney Plus. It's which ones you like to have, and it's going to be the same for your communities. Your communities are going to join different metaverse worlds, and in each one, you're going to be able to tell your brand's story in a different way. Or the other option is, does your brand make its own metaverse, and is that the play for your business in the metaverse world? So one question that we wanted to touch on also was, how is the metaverse and blockchain related? Like we've talked about virtual fashion, we've talked about virtual experiences. Just as a fireside chat, general question to everybody on the stage, how would you explain the interconnections between NFTs, metaverse, blockchain, and experience?
So if I can just explain one sentence, a metaverse is not a metaverse. If it's not, if you don't connect yourself with a wallet when you come inside of it, it's not 100% a metaverse. So a metaverse is a utility of the blockchain, so your identity with your wallet to be able to be going and sharing elements that you've bought through the blockchain in that metaverse. So we might think that everything that's a video game or something that's playing in a website might be a metaverse, but the actual term of the metaverse nowadays and in the Web3 is connecting to your wallet.
I would agree with that, actually. You know, it's evolved, right? And metaverse used to kind of just mean a virtual world, but now there's this connection to your wallet. In general, metaverses or Web3, blockchain, NFTs, it evolves every day. What terminology means what, and what's the new trend or what the new goals are of the industry. What I would like to do at this point is see if anybody has anything that they would like to add themselves, like any of our speakers here. Is there anything that you would like to add that you feel is important for brands looking to enter the metaverse? You know, businesses trying to discover, do they want to build their own metaverse, be part of another one, entering the NFT space, releasing their product? Do you have any guidance or any ideas that you think are worth bringing up before we...
Can I jump in? I actually need to leave soon. I have a doctor. I'm sitting outside the doctor's office right now. But I think something I really want to emphasize here is that the metaverse is a place to create connections and build connections. I think sometimes people see it as a place where you can be isolated and it's a reason to not go outside and you can live in this virtual world. But I think, and as with anything in technology, it's about augmenting our world and our experiences, and it's about bringing people together. And this is really particularly true in fashion, where you can go on shopping experiences together with people in other countries or across the country or anything like that. You can have a rich experience. It's amazing in education as well, how you can bring people together in a metaverse environment and you can learn together. And we're working with some people at the moment as well on holographics and how that can really enrich the fashion design and development experience. And I think looking as well, I know NFTs have had somewhat of a bad rap in the media, but NFTs are moving towards being cleaner and cleaner. And I think we can look at, there are so many benefits of the metaverse to environmental impact, how we can reduce waste by less consumption, by using virtual products instead of real products that end up in landfill. Going back to your issue of consumerism, then I think we can deal with that in a more positive way. But I think also how we can facilitate connections and learning together and building together and collaborating and touching on the blockchain as well, just to sort of throw everything into the pot here, as well, to have the transparency of how fashion is sourced and where it's made as well. So if people are selling NFTs that could lead to physical fashion, and they're doing that in the metaverse, you can see every step of the process. Who made this? Where was it sourced? How ethical is that? And it's putting a lot of power back in the hands of the consumers to make choices about who they buy from and who they interact with. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Can I just
fully agree.
Can I say something
sorry,
before
go
you go? Hi, my name's Brooke. Everything that you said is so epic. I feel like it was such an honor to be here to listen to you. So I hope you come back. I would love to listen to you because you've said so many amazing things.
Thank you. I think we have so much to talk about. It's
I
truly
mean,
an honor for
dear
me to be with
universe,
everybody.
Thank you, dear universe, for bringing you in my life. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry I have to leave early. It's an amazing conversation. I hope you invite me back sometime. I'd love to be a part of this and meet everybody again. It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming, and hopefully everything at the doctor is good.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to be fixed. Okay, all right, bye.
Bye, take care. It's funny you mentioned, she mentioned gatherings and meeting friends. I never really understood virtual gathering spaces and virtual communities before I got into NFTs and that space. I was a concert promoter. I worked in that realm where everything is in person, and I never really got what a Discord was about and what gaining these communities was about. But for example, we're all in here talking right now, and we could all send a ping out to all of our friends and invite them to the space, and then they can find out about what's going on here. Which, on that note, please do always invite your friends to anything you're ever involved in. That's how we spread word about what's happening. And yeah, like she mentioned, the environmental impact. My personal brand, our goal is Web3 entertainment for social good. Recently, we donated around $4,000 to the Global Penguin Society and to Treatum to plant a 100-tree agroforestry forest. So we're able to make real-world impact by bringing communities together and giving them buying power. There's many options that you can spend your money on within NFTs, for example, or in the real world. But no matter, well, I guess I hate saying real world because it's all the real world. But wherever you spend your money, you have this buying power option, and you can empower your buyers to make a difference and make a positive impact on the environment, whether that's the NFT donating to a charitable cause, or the other side of things, blockchain exposing transparent, sustainable practices. Like if you've ever purchased a lot of products, you've technically used Web3 because of the blockchain and the way that supply chain tracks the supplies and makes it all transparent. So it's really amazing to see how this is a concept that is slowly being adopted by society, but we're all using it already.
Yeah, Kevin, we get a chance to onboard entrepreneurs. I mean, we've been utilizing spatial. I think the crazy thing is a lot of entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, they really wanted to hear wonderful use cases for businesses, right? But like, it's so new. We don't have a really good project where we can dissect like how they did it. But I think the problem too is creating your customized space in a metaverse. It's very expensive. And so it was actually fun onboarding entrepreneurs in the metaverse, the future of work. You might save money by not, leasing your commercial space, just utilizing a virtual world, which I've been doing for my company. I've been putting together meetings with my staff, and it's fun. They can be creative. You can see their facial expression. It's actually fun when it comes to utilizing it for meetings, sales meetings for your company.
Yeah, it's cool. It creates a different experience. For my day job, I work at a company called Project Arc, which is a collab between World Wildlife Fund and Carbon Base, and we're exploring utilizing carbon credits within the virtual environments. Like Metaverse is attached to carbon credits, but we use a 8-bit video game style networking room to meet in our rooms, and there's little breakout offices that you can take your avatar character and run into, very similar to this. On that note, anybody in the audience that would like to join the stage and ask some questions for our speakers, get involved in the conversation, click on the blue area at the top of the stage. That'll walk your character up to the stage. And then you feel free to hop on the mic and ask any questions that you have. Let's turn this into a bit more of a community fireside chat. Let's get some involvement going and engagement. And then through that, again, if you participate, you will be able to get a free NFT in the Connect.Club's Discord, which you can find in my profile. So come on up on stage, everybody. Let's ask some questions. Let's get involved. Get those free NFTs. It's just a fun party now at this point.
For those of you who are in the audience, please click on the yellow speaking head and we will let you join the room. Thank you.
Perfect. Sorry, did you want to say that again one more time just so people can hear?
Yeah, sure. Guys, for those of you who are in the audience, please click on the yellow speaking head and we will let you join the room to ask the question.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry, this is also my first time in Connect.Club, so this is a really neat experience. I'm learning on the fly and I'm enjoying it. It's a really cool way to do a moderation of a room and to bring people together. You get a little bit more of a real experience than say just like a Twitter Spaces or a Discord or something like that. So does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask or any input that they would like to add to the conversation?
I just once again would like to say, right, like it's amazing to align with people that are just so steadfast into seeing the future. And for me, it's doing as much good as I could do. You know, I come from a whole different level, and it's from a real belief that we can change the world from the inside out. And we can. And we could do this in Web3 a lot easier together. So, you know, the fact that everybody's so jazzed about it, and we do the fun, we have the greatest events. I love that you're an event, you know, because the events are an easy way to get people to come in. So it's like, that's how I do. So it was amazing being here. I look forward to getting to know about each and every, and hear and listen to you all again.
If everybody, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'd just like to thank you for inviting me to the stage. My name is Trace. I have a brand called Aurelian Icarus. We're a digital jewelry startup, and I've recently got into the space, the metaverse space, I guess last year, and it's been a wild ride. I think now about 80% of my business, my time is devoted just working on virtual pieces, virtual products. It's been incredible, and the opportunities. I've had so many opportunities that I would never have had just had I not joined the space. It's been incredible.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, right? Just getting involved. You can watch from the sidelines, but until you get involved, you don't really know what you're capable of. And then once you start getting involved, it just snowballs. You're like an amoeba. You start learning new things every day. The industry changes every day. It's been, like you said, a wild ride. It's been the most fun I've had working in as a serial entrepreneur. And I used to work in music and video games. So that says a lot.
And I think what a lot of brands have to expect is have to be prepared for is don't expect an immediate return on investment. You're going to have to it's going to take a lot of patience and just seeing how things evolve, what works, what doesn't, and finding the right people to help you. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest problems I have is finding the talent to take my brand forward. I'm not talking about marketing talent in particular. I'm talking about tech talent, like 3D renderers, a lot of AR developers, that kind of thing.
Right on. If I could just chime in with that, thank you for actually saying that so much. I believe your name is Tracy Grennan, right?
Yes.
Right. That was speaking. Okay. Thank y'all so much for just allowing everybody into the stage area, because having that perspective shift actually shows them how much importance it is to be on the stage and to be present in these type of spaces, and it truly an honor to be able to connect with you, brother with the purple penguins, Kevin Lawson, man, truly an honor, because I actually was an alumni from Expression College. It's a digital arts school over in California, Emeryville area. And I graduated with honors in this course called Interactive Audio. They actually kept me at the school and hired me on to be the event coordinator. I started to host my own events, and then they hired me on to the next tier to be the admissions representative of the campus. That campus actually just closed down because of cost efficiency with the building space. And all of those students that are graphic art designers, digital media students, 3D renderers, my goodness, they have like a motion capture room, a sound stage, like a learning resource center, a green screen area. They even had a Jimi Hendrix studio, plenty of different like electronic music suites. Like they were teaching Avid Pro, Logic Pro certifications, Ableton Pro, all the different workstations that you could think of. They had all of that all in one building, inclusive building. And that entire building just got sold for condominiums. So if that entire audience of students, which was like thousands of students, just in Emeryville, but it started a whole movement globally. This like creative media platform that is starting to, develop here as a starting point has a huge audience to be poured into it. And I'm not trying to say I'm any type of ambassador. Anybody can Google up Expression College, but they actually got bought out by another corporation called SAE, which I'm not even entirely sure what they stand for, SAE, but all of those students are looking for a place to showcase their talents, their work, and they've been doing it with a professional degree, bachelor's degrees, audio degrees as well in sound and design. So there's a huge opportunity there just for me and you to all come together. And when I say me and you, I mean everybody who's listening right now, like all of us to come together and really just like start the digital renaissance. Like we should really let that be known that this is a platform where people can meet, have fun, yet also still passionately play around together. So Kevin, thank you so much for just pointing that out. And Tracy, thank you again as well.
Completely agree. It's a coming together of culture and finance and people to change the world. We have a blank canvas that we've never had before, and it's so exciting, honestly. And also, you mentioned these artists that you've worked with. There are a million artists out there that are looking to put their art out there, and there's a ton of projects that are looking to connect with these people. So if anybody knows anybody that's curating spaces and curating galleries and things, feel free to reach out to people. Sorry, I forgot your name. What is your name? Who just spoke? But reach out to people that have connections to these schools and can connect you to different artists. Our artists we found in a Twitter shill thread. So it's you never know where you're going to find your artists. I know Daniel and Kate have to go, so I was wondering if they had any more comments on building communities, pulling together online groups, and where they would recommend other people go to find these communities and curate communities before they head out.
Kate, do you want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Oh, no, I was actually going to answer something before, if you don't mind. It was about we have a publication called Meta Talks, and so I get a lot of submissions, and then people also want to be placed in different media forums. But what I think I found to be, the hundreds that have been sent to us almost on a daily basis is that there is a slight lack in the differentiating factor between many projects. And I'm not just talking about NFTs, just in general. So my suggestion would be figure out what makes you different. Figure out maybe you might be similar to someone else, but you're reaching a different market, different target audience. Because we do hear a lot of like, Project X is going to be the next Y in the metaverse, and it's going to be B way 10 years down the line, even though the technology may never exist. They're kind of following the same roadmap, which I think is getting I don't want to say stale, but I think people are being bombarded with the same approach. So my suggestion is just figure out a differentiating factor between what you're doing, hone in on that company mission and vision and speak from that first. That's just my suggestion. It was earlier. I just didn't get to answer that question you asked.
Yeah, Kevin, I think for me, we really need to be understanding of everyone and accepting of everyone's project. I think what we're seeing, especially in the NFT world, people tend to get jealous whoever's project is successful instead of praising them. People are calling out on Twitter. I think we need to be embracing everyone, let's celebrate everyone's success. And I think that's my ask for everyone. It is still new. And this is a chance for everyone, no matter where you are in the world. And let's celebrate that. I think the whole concept of the metaverse is decentralization, where we all can win. And if we all can practice that, I think we can build a Web 3.0 world better than Web 2.0.
Love it.
I would like to agree with that. My name is Manny J. I'm the guy speaking with the in the purple, with the little purple hat on. I'm definitely a part of that community. I have a brand called Thread House, and our brand is based on multi-purpose and multifunctional apparel and accessories. And we have a really great thing with our project, but our whole thing is about building community and supporting. So I like to tell people I'm creating what we like to call the Avengers team. So I have a team of developers, I have a team of artists, I have a team of managers as well. And the cool thing about it is we all work together to help support each other's project. So they like doing art. and I like doing fashion, and another person maybe like building out XR stuff and VR stuff. And what's really cool is I love the fact that we get a chance to express that in so many different ways, and I can support them by bringing them projects, hiring them to do projects, and vice versa. So if that's something you want to be a part of and everything, feel free to reach out to me. If you like my brand, feel free to check it out. But we're all about it and everything. I've been on Connect.Club for about 4 or 5 months now. So like I really know how to utilize the space. There's a lot of great connections. And we really are like a really big family that support each other. We're gonna be launching a really cool project during NFT NYC. And yeah, and it's all about just building community. And so
Yeah, I think that's been my general experience in this space too, is that everybody wants to see each other succeed. It's not cutthroat like traditional industries where you keep contacts from each other and you view each other as competition. In this space, it really seems like a lot of people want to see each other's goals get off the ground because every successful project is better for the industry. It just helps us grow this space and get more attention on what we're trying to do. So like if anybody has any ideas or any contacts or anybody or anybody is ever unsure, reach out to us, reach out to the speakers, reach out to Connect.Club. There are people in communities and in spaces like this that can help you. And then, sorry, go ahead.
So real quick, everybody, let me just kind of navigate people through how Connect Clubs work, because a lot of you all are new and everything. And like I said, I've been on the platform for a while. So if you are on social media, if you have your IG, you have your Discords, you have any links, you can go straight to your profile page, highlight the profile page, and click and actually put your link right in there. So it's a little bit a little different from other platforms, but you can literally put all your links there. So if you go to my page, you can look at all my different links and everything, and it'll highlight that. So first of all, I encourage everybody to put their links and everything to your Instagram, your social media, your OpenSea, your NFT project, whatever you got going on, because it's all about people seeing visually what you do. So you can talk about it all day, but we like to see what you got going on. Another thing is Connect Club is about who you actually are connected to and who you're connecting. It's not about I want to be exclusive and I want to have only a few connections. You want to try to connect to everybody, especially if it's someone in your community, in your space. So I encourage people to go and connect with people that's doing what you want to do. Go and connect with me, go and connect with your speaker, connect with people that you hear about and everything. If you sit back and try to be super exclusive, this is not the place for that, because this type of community is all about connection. That's why it's Connect Club. Another thing is that big screen up there that you see when you're actually a moderator. The cool thing about Connect Club is you can actually use that screen to share your projects and share your programs. So whoever's moderating can help you actually expose that and share what it is that you're talking about so people can actually see visually. So I just wanted to give everybody some Connect Club game so you actually know how to actually make this app successful for you and how you can actually evolve around this space and this community. Another thing.
Thanks so much, dude. This is my first time being on Connect.Club and being part of the moderating. So I didn't know that we could share stuff on the screen. I thought it was going to be controlled internally by the team that's actually running the space. So that's really neat that we can do that kind of stuff. I appreciate taking the time to explain to people. So One more thing, again, quick reminder, everybody that jumped on and talked today and was part of the room, be sure to join the Discord that's in the link in the profile. Just like was just mentioned, there's a link in my profile. It is for the Discord for Connect Club. Jump in there, go get your free NFT. I want to thank all of our speakers for coming out today. Everybody was amazing on the microphones. And right now what we're going to do is everybody's going to jump in the main room and we're all going to jump into little breakout rooms and have chat.
So this is Christine talking. I'm here. And I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you for being active. And we, as Kevin already said, we give away NFTs for active people. So you should connect your crypto wallets to your Connect Club account. And the way to do that is you click on your avatars, you click octagon, you go to it is settings. You scroll very to the very bottom and you see connect your wallet. and you have many wallets here. You can choose like 20 or more. So it's you just connect the wallet and you get the NFTs, and it's just a great thing to sort of like be sort of like verified and have that connected to your account. Plus the Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. So encourage everybody to connect their wallets if you have one, and just enjoy and wait for big things to come.
Hello.
Can I?
Hello.
Oh God.
Hello. It's I am Ashutosh, and I from India. I just want to thank you all your great people to make this community. I am new in learning in blockchain, and just I'm happy to that I can connect you all people and learning many things. Thank you.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming out. We appreciate that. If you guys want to jump into the main room here. Everybody follow me to the main room.
Can I say something? Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi. So I did something today. Like I put all my bio links in the Connect Club thing, but I have all those links. Today I was on LinkedIn. I thought I'm going to put Connect Clubber under my profile, under my picture. So if other people could do that, it means we could identify each other on all our other social media platforms, so that we could actually learn a little bit more about each other when we see that. And because it's kind of difficult to kind of connect with people here and learn all about them. But if we had something like Connect Clubber underneath our profile pics on our other social media, that would help to identify each other. Okay.
That's a great idea. And yeah, guys, we have Discord. So I have Discord in my bio too. So if you click on my avatar, it's me. I'm on the couch. I'm moving now. So if you click on my avatar, you see the Join Connect Club Discord link, and it's very, very convenient because we have a lot of people there. You can talk to each other and just get to know each other off Connect Club.
I agree, and at the same time, it sort of draws other people from like LinkedIn and other platforms into it promotes Connect Club. And I find this place a very level ground where there's little hierarchy. And I found in other social media, it's like, controlled by people who've got massive followings and whatever. But we can draw like people from all different grounds back into Connect Club. It's one of the reasons or why I put Connect Clubber on LinkedIn. And anyway, I just hope other people think it's a good idea and try it and just see if it spreads. Great.
That's what it's all about, right? Just trying different things to connect communities. Whether it can't just be all like following each other, right? There has to be other ways to identify ourselves as people that are having these kind of conversations. I totally understand what you're saying there. I think it's a great idea to consider.
Yeah, and this is a great space, so we can all promote it as members. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so I think at this point we get everybody to move to the main room. We can join little breakout conversations if everybody wants to meet with each other in separate conversations. And ask Ina, Christine, if there's anything that they wanted to add before we jump in there.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for joining. Now, everybody from the audience, if you want, you can join the room and have a chat and meet other people. And the official part of the event is over. Thank you so much for participating. Those of you who asked questions, please add your wallets and we will send you NFTs with an exclusive access to our private Discord channel. Thanks, everybody.